10 minutes into the match, both flanks are frozen. Nobody pushed, nobody's died, and the caps you needed 3 minutes ago are already painted red. You want to move, every instinct says the team needs you to press forward. But you've also seen what happens the moment you clear the island. You get spotted, you get focused, you get deleted. And then you spend 15 minutes watching someone else lose your game for you. This isn't a skill issue, it's a mindset issue, and today we're fixing it. Let's be brutally honest about why we hide behind rocks. At Tier 8 and above, the time to kill is brutal. One mistimed turn, a sliver of broadside, and your match is over in a single salvo. We don't camp because we're cowards. We camp because we've learned. The game punishes us for pushing, and we have adapted. But here's what that adaptation costs you: momentum, map control, and the match itself. Every second you spend waiting for that perfect moment to push, that moment is getting further away. The enemy is capping, your destroyers are dying unsupported, your cruisers are kiting backwards with nowhere left to kite to. The safe play is quietly bleeding your team out, and you don't even feel it's happening. Here's the single most important thing I can teach you. Your hit points are not a trophy, they are ammunition. If you end a match at 90% hit points with a loss on your record, you didn't play conservatively. You wasted your team's most valuable resources. A battleship with full health who never pushed might as well have been AFK. Your ship is the heaviest, most durable object on the board. It exists to go places cruisers and destroyers cannot. When you push, you are buying something. You're buying your team's space. You're buying your destroyers a window to cap. You're forcing enemy ships to react to you instead of hunting the rest of your fleet. Yes, you will take damage. Yes, you might get sunk. This is not a failure. That is your job. Okay, so how do we actually push without just handing the enemy a free kill? 3 checkboxes. Don't press W till all 3 are green. Step 1. Know where you'll be spotted. Before you move, look at your mini-map and your concealment stat. Don't just guess where the enemy destroyer is. Reason about it. Where was he last spotted? How long ago? What's your detection range versus his? Pushing into an unlit cap is pushing into a minefield. If you don't know where the destroyer is, you don't push yet. You find him first. Smoke a flank. Ask your destroyers. Wait for him to show, then move. Step 2. Commit to the angle, or don't go. The single most common way pushes fail is a panic turn. A player pushes in at a good angle, takes some hits, gets nervous, and tries to reverse. The moment you turn broadside to pull out, you are presenting your full citadel to every gun in the enemy team. That 10-second turn is how you go from 60% HP to the port screen in one salvo. Here's the rule: if you're not willing to push all the way in, don't start the push. Aggression requires commitment. Once you're past the point of no return, the only safe option is to angle through and fight. There is no safe retreat. The bow protects you, the broadside kills you. Step 3. Push to force reactions, not just to deal damage. This is the one most players miss. Don't push to farm HP, push to move ships. Your goal is to make the enemy respond to you. If you push hard enough, that 2 enemy cruisers have to turn and run. You've given the entire team a broadside to shoot at. That's more damage than you could have done alone in 10 minutes of sniping. If you force a destroyer to disengage from a cap, your team takes that cap. These outcomes don't just show up in your damage ribbon, they show up on the win-loss screen. You might not survive every push. You will get sent to port sometimes. That's part of the deal. But a match where you pushed, soaked damage, created space, and watched your team win on the back of it, that's what the game is actually about. It's 10 times more satisfying than limping to the end with a loss, with a pristine hull and 0 impact. Stop treating your ship like a museum piece. It's a weapon. Use it. That's part 1 of the Full Broadside Academy. Next episode, we're going deep on what to do if your flank collapses, because at some point, every push turns into a retreat, and how you kite out of it is the difference between surviving to influence the match and throwing everything away. Hit subscribe if you're there for that. See you on the water.
Hull breach. We're taking on water quickly. Critical engine damage.